Oh shit. Age ain't nothing but number. God damn. What you call Narcissus is taking it a little bit too far. Motherfucker 26. Anyway, Narcissus, he brought in the cavalry because Arslan and his team trying to make it to this basically this fortress, and they get surrounded by some of Silvermast's boys. But Narcissus already had that figured out. He had some badasses with him, like Twin Sword Magoo, whatever that dude name was. Oh my God, he was good. He was good. I mean, he killed so many people, it was just ridiculous. He said he didn't feel right unless he killed somebody. But anyway, they got them to the little hideout safely, and it turns out he married a 3-year-old. Narcissus married a little 3-year-old girl. The little girl from that clan that tried to kill Hermes married the ass. No, I'm just joking. He didn't marry her, but she said that she wanted to marry him. He doesn't seem like he's gonna what am I trying to say? I don't think he's gonna back out of it. She said that she's his lover, whatever. And he says, that ain't my lover. He said, we only did anal. So that means that they can't be his lover. You know, shoot, they didn't take that real step. Anyway, they make it to the fortress, and I got my eye on that old ass dude. They show it. When they go there, the guy says we're willing to devote our troops and our resources to Arslan, right? Then they show the old head on the side, and he doesn't look too happy. Then the camera zooms in on him. I'm watching the old motherfucker. I mean, the shit just looked shady. Looked like Eminem. Shit was shadier than a motherfucker. Y'all know how they do. They zoom in, and then the dude looks funny. He looks like he's got like the face of like Jafar from I Dream of Genie. What's the name of that movie? Aladdin. When you see that look, you know you keep your eye on the motherfucker. Anyway, Narcissus got some kids fighting over his ass now. So now it's that little girl and the little boy fighting over him. They want his affection. They fighting. I mean, the dude was already dressed like a girl, so we already know what that is. And we already know what it's hitting for. They fighting over the dude. That shit crazy. And then the girl goes over to Ferengis, is asking her for advice on how to get Narcissus and to trap him. And she's trying to trap Narcissus. She said to poke holes in the condoms and all that kind of bullshit, whatever. It was crazy. And she's like 16. He's 26. The shit crazy. But like I said before in the other video, I seen this coming. You got to take into account the time they're in. This is very common for that time period. Matter of fact, it still goes on today, but it was common in that time period. Anyway, Arslan, he got loose lips, and he's talking to that dude, the dude Twin Sword McGee. I forgot what his name was. It was something like Freeze Man or something. I don't know. Victor Freeze or something like that. And he started talking about releasing the slaves, and I was thinking, no, Arslan, what the fuck are you doing? Because I don't care how well you know these people, you know that if you talk about freeing some slaves, that goes against their principles and their teachings and everything. So they might not take too kindly to that. Luckily, this dude did. But a lot of people, he would tell that, and they'd be like, whoa, free who? That type of deal. You could know him for all your life, but when you challenge his principles and his beliefs that he's had since he was born, and his parents fed him since birth, they're gonna say, whoa, I don't know about freeing those slaves, that type of deal. So that could have backfired on him. And then that's what I kept thinking. That could backfire on him, and they won't be able to utilize the troops. But it didn't work out like that. But something else did happen. Varese, he had turned out to be extra nosy. A lot of old people are like that. He was extra nosy. He did a lot of snooping, found out that Adragoras had killed his brother, and tried to kill his nephew, but his nephew survived. So he knew that Arslan is not the rightful king of Pars, but he still followed and told Dorian, he says, yo, commit yourself to Arslan. And the reason why he said that, and we didn't think that at first, we were just thinking that he had a lot of high hopes for Arslan, and that he didn't want Dorian. He wanted Dorian to be thorough with, Arslan or whatever. That's what we was thinking. But really, he didn't want him to turn his back when he found out that wasn't really the king of Arslan. Of Pars. And, the whole scandal or whatever. When he found out about the scandal, he didn't want him to flip. That's what Varese found. He's a stand-up guy. When he found out that everything went south, went sideways, and Agrigoras or whatever did what he did, he didn't turn his back on Arslan. You know what he did? He figured, damn, because remember, he's the one who's teaching Arslan and whatnot. He's thinking, damn, Arslan is a good guy. He can make a good king. And he's still part of the royal bloodline to an extent anyway. He's not a direct descendant, but he's in the family. He's the cousin of the direct descendant. He says, I'm riding with Arslan. And that's what Dorian said a little while ago. He says, man, I'm riding with Arslan. Remember, like 2 episodes ago? So that's where Varese was at. And later on, Arslan's cousin popped up on him unannounced while he was daydreaming. Arslan's up there daydreaming, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, what is he going to do? And Hermes pops up. And he says, who are you? He says, I'm your cousin. He said, you my baby cousin Tracy. Whatever. And he finds out, he just tells him, he says, yo, I'm such and such. He said, I'm the rightful king or whatever, shit like that. Tries to torture Arslan. He said, if I kill you, it's going to be too easy. He said, I've been suffering for 16 years. He said, I'm going to make you suffer for a while. He said, I'm not going to kill you off that easy. That's too easy. He said, your only sin with being born is basically being Agrigoras' son. He said, that's it. He said, you ain't doing anything wrong. He said, but I got to take my rightful place. And your pop's an asshole, and I got to take you out because of it. He tried to kill me. I got to knock you off. Anyway, Arslan brings out the fire. He just happened to try to protect himself, grab the closest thing to try to block, and it was a torch. And turns out Hermes is Martian Manhunter. He fears fire because of that fire that he was in. He's scared of it. It brings back those nightmares, and he doesn't want to go back to that dark place. Anyway, all these Ferengis comes in, saves him. Narcissus comes in and saves him. Dorian comes in for the save. Everybody's on this motherfucker. And then he's fighting him. He's holding him off, holding his own. Manages to get back up the stairs and goes at Arslan. And the dude Bowman, or Bowman, or whatever his name is, protects him, and gives up his life for Arslan. Now, the reason why he was fronting on him, now what happened was Narcissus called the dude a bitch. He said, you're soft. He said, you're getting old, you're scared like a bitch, now you're running. He said, that's why you don't want us to mobilize your troops. What really happened was Varese sent him a message telling him what was going on. Now, Varese and Bowman are basically the same person. And Dorian and the other dude was named Victor Freeze or whatever the dude named, the Twin Sword Magoo. They're the same people. Pretty much. I mean, they're not the same person, but you know what I'm saying? They're parallels. They're parallels of each other. They're like alternate versions. They're doppelgangers. Anyway, this dude Batman was the dude that was helped raise Hermes. And he knew Hermes from when he was young. So he didn't want to get involved in killing off somebody he knew so well and that he helped out. So basically, Batman was Hermes Varese. So that's why he didn't want to get involved. Because he had his feelings was involved. He was hurting. The motherfucker was hurting. Why is he all in his feelings, basically? Anyway, it looks like Varese was able to also not only convince Dorian, which he really didn't convince him, but I'm saying he gave him the that information when he said stick by Arslan. He was able to convince Bama, and he said, yo, I know he's not truly supposed to be the king of Arslan, Pars, but this motherfucker is thorough. He's a good kid. He's got a good life ahead of him. The motherfucker's got potential. Fuck Hermes. So the dude basically said, fuck you, Hermes. No, I'm playing. He didn't say that. But he pretty much stood by Arslan because he stood by Varese, and he knows who Varese is, and he's got respect for him, and he knows Varese wouldn't mess up like this. So he stood up and did what he was supposed to do. Anyway, after that, Hermes takes off, and now we got a damn army coming for their asses. And this dude is dead. I was surprised when dude got killed. And I really didn't want to see him go once we find out what was really going on. Basically, he's not a full-on Carlin. He didn't switch and turncoat anything like that, but he was apprehensive about the whole situation. I'm gonna give this episode 5 out of 5. Real good. It was, the excitement was, on point. But it was some slow parts, like when the little kids was arguing and shit like that. Other than that, it was pretty good. I can't see anything wrong with it. We found out the dude was afraid of fire. That was fun. Varese, that not Varese, Bama, that dude, he's a real good character. And they brought in another good character, Twin Sword McGee. I can't even remember his name, but fuck him. But anyway, go ahead and leave your comments, like the video, and subscribe, because I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga, I'm broke. And you got the power to change that. I wonder what's going to happen when this dude shows up at this kingdom, how they're going to be able to defend themselves against them. And on top of that, even if they can, how many soldiers are going to lose? Remember, they still got to take over Pars. They can't be losing soldiers. You can't lose soldiers. Peace.